Hi, Kara from Health, Home, and Happiness here. We're talking about different versions of the ketogenic diet, and the first one that I'm going to touch on is the 4-to-1. And this is called the classical ketogenic diet. It is most often, if your doctor prescribes the ketogenic diet for seizure control and you're working with a neurologist, this is most likely the one they will go to. It has been used for over 100 years. And because of that, they have seen lots of studies that it is very effective for controlling drug-resistant epilepsy, which means that epilepsy and seizures that are not controlled by using standard medications. And so this is something that it's a very restrictive version of the ketogenic diet. There is some evidence, which I'll link below, that less restrictive versions are as effective. A lot of doctors and nutritionists are going to be hesitant to prescribe that, but this is me as a mom. I'm just talking to you mom to mom. I'm definitely not qualified to give any medical advice. Look into it yourself and kind of see what you can do to get the most benefits out of the diet for you or your child and to be in the least restrictive diet as possible. So what is the 4-to-1 diet? The 4-to-1 diet is for every 1 gram of either protein or carbohydrate, you have to consume 4 grams of fat. And so this is a very strict ratio, and all of the meal plans and stuff are very strictly counting and weighing what each of these children are consuming. On the classic 4-to-1 diet, originally liquids were restricted as well. Again, this is something that people kind of fell into. They realized when they cut out all of these foods and they did this ratio, seizures were under control. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the only way to control seizures by being in ketosis. So originally with the 4-to-1 ketogenic diet, originally liquids were restricted as well as calories. And so this is with the protein restriction, because you have to have the 4 grams of 4 grams of fat for every 1 gram of protein. So with the protein restriction, liquid restriction, and calorie restriction, of course the ketogenic diet is going to be associated with growth delay for children that are on it during their years that they're growing. And then with the liquid restriction that isn't so much in place, some practitioners will still advocate for that, but most of the time these children are allowed unrestricted liquids. And so that is going to cause kidney problems because, our kidneys rely on a constant source of liquids to go through, or different stuff can build up in them. That's what's causing the kidney stones and the other kidney problems. So this is a most effective diet for your neurologist getting on board. You definitely will be in ketosis, like there's no question about it. If it's like an emergency situation, you need to get these seizures under control. This is definitely a way that you can get into ketosis. Pretty much everybody will be in ketosis on this 4-to-1 ratio. And it's something that, again, you're probably going to get more support within the healthcare community. But if you look below, I'm going to link to some studies that have shown that less restrictive versions, something that they call the modified Atkins diet, is also equally effective in some people for seizure control. So it seems from what I've reviewed in the literature, and again, not a medical professional, it seems that the act of being in ketosis and making sure that your brain is running on ketones and not glucose is what's most important for controlling the seizures. And secondary is the type of ketogenic diet that you're on, where some people may have a lower carb count that they can tolerate and still be in ketosis. And obviously, if bumping yourself out of ketosis is going to trigger seizures, this is something that you want to be working carefully with your healthcare provider. But as a mom, I would like to see you be able to, for your child, have them on the least restrictive diet that also controls the symptoms that you need to be controlled. So if you want to check out the link below, if you want to look at any of these videos, I'm going to explain as much as I can about the ketogenic diet, which I use for my daughter for neurological issues. It's not seizures, but it is being incredibly effective for neurological issues. So I want to share as much as I can. If you want to click over there and subscribe, I would also love to see you on other videos.